you're spotted, I'm Phil Collins, Head of IM&T at West Midlands Ambulance Services. And so what my presentation will do is tell you a bit about my organisation and a bit about the journey we're currently taking to move services into the cloud. So this is who we are. We were formed by a merger of 4 smaller organisations. Ambulance Services went through a series of mergers in 2006, and that formed our organisation. And we are one of 10 ambulance services on mainland England. We're award-winning and review performance and delivery of patient care as an important thing to our organisation. And we cover the whole of the West Midlands region, so Staffordshire, Shropshire, Herefordshire, Worcester, Coventry, Warwickshire, and Birmingham Black Country sitting in the middle. And we run that emergency side of the organisation with 2 emergency control rooms. When we merged, we had 5. We've got around 50 ambulance stations. That's an estate that's changing at the moment. A lot of staff, a lot of vehicles, and we move a lot of patients throughout the year in emergency and in non-emergency journeys. And part of what that starts to reveal is that of our staff, they're distributed. They are often vehicle-based or they are call centre-based, and so they're not sitting at a workstation, and typically our staff have access to IT facilities when they're on a base, but a lot of their time is spent on the road, and therefore they have limited access to service, and that creates challenges for them. So what brought us to need to do some change? As I say, we formed through merger. We spent a period of time consolidating our patient systems, and our traditional back office stuff was left typically in its legacy format. So we've been running with 3 mail servers, 3 different domain structures, and sort of trying to live within that environment because we were changing a lot of our patient systems. And the situation with those multiple systems, of course, is that you're passing messages between sites, and it's not elegant, it's not clean, and gave us a lack of collaboration space, lack of collaboration on documentation because people had different silos, and people were tending to use email to communicate documents, and it's difficult to know where current data is. And so we've known about this for a long time. It's not a surprise, it's just that we were putting our energy elsewhere. And so that led us to this point where we needed something common, something standard. And alongside that, we know that we live in a period of change. So the organisation was formed through change, but also we have contracts that change today. So our non-emergency work is typically let on a 3-year contract, so it's an organisation that grows and shrinks as we win and lose those contracts. And we also bid for new business in associated areas of health, and that can cause us to need to be able to have some flexibility to grow and to scale back if that's the nature of our change. So we were looking for flexibility, but also standardisation of communication. A bit more about ours, with a history of innovation. So we used to develop our own systems in command and control, and we've continued to develop systems in business information. But back on that point I made before about our focus around frontline service. And so we've looked now to deploy Office 365 as a cloud solution, and that sits alongside removing domains, we're introducing Wi-Fi access, we're introducing home access. There's lots of different drivers coming together at the same time as we try and improve access for our staff to trust systems. And then, there's a question around why do we go for cloud? And we had resilience in the systems we had, but it's limited. These are years old servers, and we were looking for more resilience, but a new solution could offer. And we could have built that ourselves, or we could have considered the national solution for email for the NHS is NHS Mail. It's hosted, it's cloud because it's multi-tenancy, it's away from us. But NHS Mail is the preferred solution for the NHS, but it's email only. And it's got limited storage, so it means we would need to deal with archive situations. It doesn't connect with mobile devices without paying additional licenses for certain mobile devices. So there's extras to NHS Mail. And so although it gave us an opportunity, it wasn't necessarily all of the answer for us. And so we've looked at what else is out there, which gives us more options for more collaboration. So not just email, but a bit more than that. And that led us through various looking around to Office 365 platform. A number of those skills in-house already. NHS has an established Microsoft base, and so we were able to build on that base. And we wanted some of those features of collaboration that just standard email wasn't going to give us. And so that's then this journey of how do we work in partnership. So we've worked, a year ago we were working with IMGROUP on an on-premise solution for SharePoint. And that's developed over the past year to take us to a cloud solution for SharePoint and for mail and for collaboration. We're working with Microsoft because we have Microsoft skills already. So it made sense for us. A lot of our infrastructure already was Microsoft, so we're trying to work across and get extra benefit from the common technology that we're already running. And then how we buy in that, we're choosing to procure through the G-Cloud framework. Both IMGROUP and Microsoft are available on the G-Cloud framework. It gives us a simple procurement route, or certainly more simple than if we've gone through a tender process as would have been traditional. And it gives us gives us some recognition, I suppose, for why are you buying a service from this outfit? Because they're on a process of assurance to get them onto that particular framework. They're not just any old companies, they are going through that assurance process that G-Cloud is offering us and offering our community. This is a bit of a journey of where we've been and where we're going. So, as Jeremy discussed, we've had a period of time of working with IMGROUP. So we worked on internal sort of patient systems back in 2010. We started working, we knew we had to deal with mail, so we started looking at mail. And actually, the work on cloud solutions started towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. And we did a 2-month piece of work to actually upgrade our back-end system so that we could integrate stuff around security, stuff around sign-on, so that we're not deploying a standalone system but an integrated solution. And now we're starting the rollout. So that rollout is due to take a couple of months-ish, and then that will take mail on to 2 months to get our mail platform live, to get our SharePoint available, that then we'll build on SharePoint throughout this year and beyond, really. I mean, SharePoint's not going to end, it's going to be a development piece. A week ago, we had 1% of our staff on the cloud. This week, we've got 10% of our staff on the cloud. Next week, it'll be some more. So you'll know this sort of stuff about why we're doing it. There's the theory. G-Cloud is a particular framework that allows government organisations to buy cloud services. And the G-Cloud set up a particular website and a framework around procurement. That means it was meant to simplify procurement for government and public sector organisations so they can go straight to a provider on that framework and procure. Normally, I would have to go to another framework, have a look at all the suppliers, go through a more lengthy specification, tendering evaluation process that the G-Cloud framework cuts some of those layers away. As part of our process, we did a bit of a business case, as you might expect, and looked at when we could look to gain a return on our investment. For us, that's a bit tricky, because traditionally we have capital money, and this is a revenue system. And so we've had to do some difficult thinking about where that revenue stream is going to come from for this. A feature of the G-Cloud framework is it's a one-year model, so I can't capitalise it all and let it live over 3 years. I have to find the revenue. So that's been part of our journey, is understanding where we're making savings and where that return is going to come from. We've justified that to ourselves, and we've justified that around the technology. We believe there's a bigger saving to come as far as collaboration, but we haven't tried to persuade the organisation of that on the basis that I can tell you that you will travel less if I implement this solution. But if you don't believe me, you'll just say no. So to try and move my organisation forward, we've taken that decision of, can we convince ourselves that we can make that savings just within the IT area, and the other savings, we'll look at that as a next stage, and the other delivery of benefits we'll look at as a next stage. Now, some organisations would see it in the whole approach. We've chosen not to do that because we knew that we needed to move on with delivering these solutions to our staff. Yes. So security. And we inevitably deal with patient confidential information. And so we have adopted a hybrid solution. And IM&T have worked with us on that hybrid solution. So there is some data that we will keep inside the organisation at this point. And where it's appropriate, there's other information that we will allow to live in the cloud. And that's an extra layer of complication perhaps for now, but it lets us move forward and it lets us deliver an improved service to our organisation today and over time as the G-Cloud develops and the understanding of the assurance we get from that wrapper, potentially we'll move more to the G-Cloud environment, but if we waited for one or the other, we could have been waiting and a bit in limbo. So we've adopted a hybrid approach. There'll be some data in-house, some data on the cloud. And the other thing we've been able to do with IM&T, just that last bullet, is around developing tailored solutions. So we knew that there were certainly concerns, or some of the team had some concerns around loss of information through password capture on public machines. So it's a cloud solution, you can use the internet to do it. Someone might grab your credentials. You've then grabbed my WMAS.nhs.uk credentials. What might you do with that? And so we've worked with IM&T to develop tailored solutions to try and reduce the risk around identity theft and abuse of that identity. So we believe it's going to give us flexibility because we live in a changing world, that we've got a greater choice in the market we're able to procure from. We've got access to the product that suits our skills and our established platform. And IM&T's working with us as part of a broad team. We're on that journey, as I say, we're not there yet, and there are obstacles as we go. But I still believe it's the right steps we're taking. And the ultimate there is that those staff who used to, we have an ambulance station with 20 vehicles, 40 staff on shift, they share a computer. We have a control room with 60 staff on shift, they share 2 computers. So they don't get email at their 999 desk, they go and share 2 computers. They've got a restricted amount of access today. And by delivering a cloud-based solution, We know that they'll be able to access communication at their home when they want to access it. It will open up future avenues around access from a personal device. It takes us to a different place as an organisation to be able to communicate with our staff and work together across a wide geography. That's it.
Thanks, Phil.